And if you've had a bad day or am having a bad day, stay seated. All right? All right. I'm going to move that chair just a little bit forward for you, okay?
Yeah.
All right. You take it easy this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. All right. Can you guys just get along? I'm joking. I'm joking. Taking the right hand and making it into a fist. Left hand, fingers together, tucking in the thumb, fist into the palm. Welcome. It's good to see everyone. So we've just come off of a bad heat wave. So if you're having a bad day or something, it's okay. Just you can sit down and do the exercises. There's actually value they have found in just sitting and watching the exercises and imagine that you're doing the exercises because your brain triggers the reactions in your muscles. So just by watching and kind of mentally engaging in what you're doing, there's value in that. And so if you sit and you do some of the exercises, even more value. All right. So you're still getting a good workout when you do that. All right. All right. Wuji position, feet shoulder hip distance apart. Nice, gentle bend in the knees. Tucking in the pelvis, head is lifted by the silk thread. All right, it's started. All right. Deep breathing to get us started. All right. Inhale the hands up and exhale, relax the hands down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Push the hands in front of us next. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Arms over the head next. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Arms to the side. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Giving a big hug. Inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling, floating the hands down. Big, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Now we'll do arms in the diagonals. Inhale to the heart. Left up, right down. Exhale. Inhale to the heart. Right up, left down. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. One more time each side. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, float the hands down. Flap the arms like bird wings. Big, deep belly breath in. Long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. Inhale. Now, when you have your arms up here, just float your arms down. Slower is much better. Nice. Good job. All right. Gathering chi. Big, deep belly breath in. And then long, slow breath out. Slower, better. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And there you go. That's our deep breathing. Good job. Thank you. So, if you learn nothing else in this class, learn how to breathe. It's one of the best things you can do is learn how to breathe. Think of the human body. We can go almost like a month without food, or in some cases longer. Without water, I think about 11 days roughly, depending on the environment. But going without breathing is just minutes, all right? One of the best things you can do is to breathe properly, okay? And when you're not feeling good, practice breathing even more, okay? So when you're not feeling good, it's not the time to say, I'll breathe later, next week when I'm feeling better. No, start doing deep breathing at that point, all right? Because it can amazingly help you. I had one of my students, now she did not have Parkinson's disease, but there's one of my students who was admitted to the ICU. She only had functioning 10% of her lung. She had both bacterial and viral pneumonia at the same time. She spent 5 days in the ICU. When she came out, respiratory therapist came to her and took her through some breathing exercises and said, "You know how to do this?" And she said, "Well, it's what my Tai Chi teacher taught me to do." And she said, "Keep doing this." And so I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, but she credits me with saving her life just by teaching the breathing that we just did there. She credited me with saving her life by teaching her to breathe that way. I'm not convinced that that's the case, but hey, take a win where you can get one, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, she only had 10% of her lungs working, and she came back from that. So that's amazing. All right. So, Wuji position. We're going to do warm up exercises, starting with the chin tuck. Make sure you keep looking straight ahead of you. We're going to float the hands up, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Good job. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin to the chest without leaning forward. Going to do that 2 more times. Float the hands up in front of us, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up. And then we sink the chin down to the chest. Again, floating the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, keep looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Next neck exercise, we're going to look side to side. We start out in the prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball right hand is on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Tai Chi ball left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center. Right hand's on top, left hand, left shoulder. Make sure you're turning the neck, feeling the stretch. And then we come back to center. Left hand is on top, watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And we come back to center. One more time. Right hand's on top. Make sure you're turning the neck. Left hand, left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Left hand is on top. Right hand, right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Forward shoulder circles. Keep the waist still. So imagine there's a silk thread attached from your head to the ceiling, and someone is very gently lifting up that silk thread so it keeps a good straight posture, all right? So imagining that while moving your shoulders. So the shoulders back and then up, then forward and down. Shoulders back and up, forward and down. Someone's gently pulling on that silk thread, shoulders back and then up, then forward and down. Now reverse. Shoulders forward, then up, then back and down. Forward without leaning forward. Keep looking straight ahead, up, back, and down. Awesome. Forward, up, back, and down. Awesome. Good job. Let me readjust my mic. I always have to readjust my mic after that one. All right. Gathering chi, reaching for infinity. Imagine someone is very gently pulling on your wrist, opening and expanding the body. Gently reaching out, reaching up. And then relax the hands down, nice and slow. Beautiful. Gently reaching out, reaching up. Push down on the feet at the same time and then float those hands down. One more time, gently reaching out, reaching up, pushing down on the feet simultaneously. Beautiful. And relax the hands down. Awesome. Good job. Anytime your hand goes above your shoulder, think, I need to push down on my feet. Remember I talked last week, that 2-year-old child pushing down on their feet and they don't want to get a shot. You got to be that 2-year-old kid, right? You push down on your feet. No, I'm not going to go anywhere. Okay? It was one time, I don't think I told this here. There was one time I was with my girls at Six Flags, and there was some kid, we were standing in the lines that just seemed to go on forever. And there was some little boy who was with his dad, and dad wasn't taking care of his little boy very well because the little boy was running around, running into people and like knocking them over sometimes or making them step back or whatever. And he was in line right in front of me. So I took my girls and said, why don't you guys stand behind me? And so the girls stand behind me because I didn't want him to run into her. So I gave him some room. I stood about this far away. So I gave him, the little boy needs to burn off some energy, but respectfully. So eventually I rooted myself to the ground. When he did that, I pushed my feet into the ground. I just stood there, girls behind me, all's cool. And eventually he ran into me. But I didn't move when he ran into me because I was well rooted to the ground. So he ran into me. It was like, whoa, and kind of stepped back. He never ran into me again after that. And I didn't say anything. I didn't push him, but it was like, need to learn some manners, young man. So I rooted myself to the ground so it can be really, really effective. All right. So with that in mind, touching heaven and earth, we start out in the prayer hand position. Left hand up, right hand down, stretching the spine, floating the head to the ceiling. And then we come back to center, simultaneously pushing down on the feet. Right hand up, left hand down, stretching the spine once again. And back to center. Left hand up, right hand down, gently stretching the spine. And come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, up on the hand, pushing down on the feet. And back to center. Pause for just 1 second. So as you're doing this exercise, you want to keep a straight line between your head, shoulders, and your hips. One straight line. So make sure that you're not turning the hips or leaning the upper body, all right? You want to keep that body nice and straight. So prayer hand position. Left hand up, right hand down, pushing down on the feet, floating the head up, back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center, back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Carrying the ball side to side, not moving the hips, just turning the belly button. Does anyone not know where their belly button is? All right, because I was going to volunteer him to show you. Okay, yeah. Hey, I've had a couple of students that didn't have a belly button. Yes. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Well, they had it surgically removed. Yeah. So yeah, I had two students. One lady was like, she didn't have a belly button, had it surgically removed. I was like, I've never heard of that. And I was explaining that to another class, and the lady said, yes, I had mine surgically removed, but the guy who removed it had a sense of humor. So after he removed it, he tattooed a belly button on her. I was like, okay. Yeah, exactly. So turning the belly button left and right without moving the hips, okay? Prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Turning the ball over. Oh, oh, oh. No, you just stay down for a minute, all right? No, just relax. Okay. Now, we're just going to have you do it from the chair, all right? Just relax for a minute. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. All right. Okay, no, just relax. All right.
All right. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel fine. I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to set this chair up. All right.
Put
All
one
right.
right where in front so he can kind of
Yeah.
grab onto it.
So here, we'll have you let go of that chair. I'm going to spin that chair around. So we're going to stand you up so you can hold on to it.
Let's do it flat.
You want to do that so you can. Okay, so I'm going to get behind you and lift you up. All right.
Well, hang on. Let's see if he can. Can you lift yourself up on your knees with this?
No.
No.
You're on your knees first.
Yeah.
We'll go on your knees and then we'll see if you can push up with this. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
On your knees, it's easy.
So that's okay.
No, that's all right. Stuff happens. I'm glad you're okay.
There you go.
I kind of know how to fall.
Yeah. You did it gracefully.
Yes.
There's an art to it.
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
Now, let's get this over a little bit closer to him. Straight on.
Okay.
Okay, then when you come up, you're gonna push yourself up and then sit here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So take one foot up.
Here, why not let me turn this chair? Okay, he's good there.
Yep.
There you go. Poise.
Mm-hmm.
Good. The other
Get
foot
that
up.
foot on you. Yep.
Frozen foot. There we go.
There you go. Nice.
Nicely done.
You're good getting up.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. I'm glad you're okay.
Do a little turn here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
There you go.
We all need help from time to time.
Oh, definitely.
I've
Thanks.
had my turns.
I need it all the time. It seems.
That's okay. All right. And then blue.
Well, here.
Here.
Turn this one around.
Well, no, you just stay there. We can move the chair.
It's okay. I can.
You gotta change the chairs?
No, we'll just do
No,
it right
no,
here.
hold on.
Yeah, and then we'll turn that one. So he just goes right down here. And you don't have to get up.
He's going
We're
to.
gonna turn this. And then just stay seated, okay, for the
Okay.
rest of the time, okay?
Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
No problem. She did all the work.
What I live for.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'll get you some water.
Good eye.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
okay.
Sure.
I'm fine.
You're fine? You're just saying that, aren't you?
No, no, I really am.
Okay.
Okay, and
I said
John, where
that.
were you?
Nicely done.
John, where were you? Over there?
Yeah.
All right.
My jacket.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Glad to be of help.
And if history repeats himself, he'll leave his jacket when he leaves.
Okay. So I would stay seated, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right. Everyone good? Thank you for your help. All right. So we were doing that rotational exercise where we keep our hips square to the front. Now, so for my people who are seated, you can't move your hips because you're sitting on them. So you have a distinct advantage. All right. So from the Wuji position, prayer hand position, Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top, gently turn to the left. And then we turn the ball over, right hand's on top, and then gently turn to the right. Turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. And then we turn the ball over, right hand's on top, gently turn to the right. Turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. And we turn the ball over, right hand's on top, and gently turn to the right. And then we turn the ball over, we come back to center, back to prayer hands, relax the hands down. Awesome. So one thing with that exercise, when you are turning side to side, make sure you keep your head and shoulders above your hips. So as I'm turning, I'm doing this and this. I'm not doing this where I'm leaning to one side, all right, or shifting your weight to one side, but I'm rotating the upper body. So that keeps a nice straight posture, okay? That's gonna help with your balance, all right? Let's have a seat. Let's do a few seated exercises. You all right? Hold it. Did you bring enough candy for the class? All right. So when we sit Tai Chi style, we sit up on the edge of the chair. Don't lean on the back of the chair. This is going to help build your core muscles up. All right. So we sit up on the edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, 90-degree bend between the upper and lower leg. All right. Our pelvic bone is kind of a flat bone, and we have a tendency to sit back on the pelvic bone. Instead, rock that pelvic bone forward. That helps straighten the back. And then you lift your head by a silk thread. So you have good straight body posture in this direction and good straight body posture in this direction. Again, a lot of people roll back on that pelvic bone and they end up sitting like this, and you notice kind of the hunched appearance. So you rock forward, lift the head up, straightens the back, strengthens the core. Okay? So, good way to practice sitting this way, a little bit every time. When we first sit this way, we won't be able to sit this way for very long. As we keep practicing it a little bit every day, and you can do this while you're eating, while you're watching TV, reading a book, computer, whatever you want. But just practice sitting this way just a little bit every day, and it becomes longer and longer period of time. Okay. The other thing that this helps do, I talked about breathing at the beginning. Here, let's do this. So sit up nice and straight and tall, and take a big deep breath in, and exhale. Feels good. One more time. Inhale and exhale. All right, now lean as far forward as you can. Do not fall out of your chair. Stay in your chair, but lean as far forward as you can, whatever is comfortable for you. Now try and take a deep breath in. That didn't work as well, did it? Try it again. All right, Go ahead and straighten back up again. So what happened? Were you able to take a deep breath bending over like that? No, right? Why is that? Because all of your organs are pushing up against your diaphragm. So when you sit nice and straight and tall, you're actually able to breathe better because it gives your diaphragm room to move, all right? When I'm doing this, all of these organs, and they're all vital organs, are pushing up against the diaphragm, so I can't take a deep breath that way. But when you sit up this way, you can take a long, slow, deep breath, okay? So, even a better reason, you see, your mom was right. So let's turn to the right-hand side of the chair. We're trying to keep the knee directly above the ankle, all right? So prayer hand position, gently pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Keep the knee above the ankle. And back to center. Pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. And back to center. Concentrate on the leg first. If you're having trouble doing legs and arms, work on the legs first, all right? Pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. And then we come back to center, relax the hands down, and turn to the left-hand side of the chair. Same thing, other side. Prayer hand position. Gently pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Keep the knee above the ankle. And back to center. Pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Don't push it, nice and gentle. And we come back to center. One more time, pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. And we come back to center. Relax the hands down, turn back to center, and shake our legs loose. Good job. All right. Next hip exercise, 2 motions with the leg. We're going to lift the leg up and push the leg down. Keeping our body straight, keeping our back straight, okay? Don't use our hands. Let your body do whatever it can do, but you're trying to pull that left knee up just a little higher each time, okay? So, sitting up nice and straight and tall. By the way, it will help you if you think when you're lifting the knee, you're kind of lifting the head towards the ceiling. That will help keep your back straight, okay? So, lifting up the left leg, hands are behind us. And relax. And then hands in front of us, push down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us. Back and body stay straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Beautiful. Same thing, other side. Lifting the right leg up, hands are behind us. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Lifting right leg up, hands are behind us. Hold that position for a half an hour and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. One more time. Lifting the right leg up, hands are behind us, back and body stay straight. Think lifting that head towards the ceiling. Relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, 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 and relax. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job. All right. Next exercise, heel kick. 4 motions with the leg. First, lifting the leg up. Second, kicking the leg out. Push out on the heel, up on the toe. That's 2. Picking the leg up, don't forget this, and then floating the foot to the ground. All right? It sometimes helps people if after you do a kick, if you come back to this position and do a count in your head, like 1, 2, and then float the foot down. All right? because our tendency is to have to do a kick. We just set our foot down. We want to make sure we come back to this position and then set our foot down, okay? We're going to punch out the opposite hand, keep the body straight, keep the back straight, and we're going to smile the whole time. All right? Hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out the left fist. Picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, the count, 1, 2, float the foot to the ground. Make sure you're sitting up straight. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. And then we pick up the right leg, count, 1, 2, and then float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job. I had another. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. I think I told this joke yesterday. That's all right. So there was a couple of you that were here yesterday. You're going to have to act like it's the first time you've ever heard it. All right. So some of the 50s artists, some of the musical artists from the 50s are redoing the lyrics to their songs to fit baby boomers. So here's a couple of them for you. Herman's Hermits, Mrs. Brown, You Have a Lovely Walker. The Bee Gees, How Do You Mend a Broken Hip? Bobby Darin's Splish Splash, I Was Having a Hot Flash. Ringo Starr, I Get By With a Little Help from Depends. The Commodores, Once, Twice, 3 times to the bathroom. Marvin Gaye, I Heard It Through the Grape Nut Flakes. Leo Sayer, You Make Me Feel Like Napping. Willie Nelson, On the Commode Again. Procol Harum, A Wider Shade of Hair. Johnny Nash, I Can't See Clearly Now. Helen Reddy, Iron Woman, Hear Me Snore. And the classic from ABBA, Denture Queen. There you go. Some new hits coming out. All right. So, toe kick. Same thing we just did. And now instead of pointing the toe up, we point the toe forward. We keep the back and the body straight. Starting out with the left leg. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up the left leg, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover there, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then we pick up the right leg, let it hover, and float the foot to the ground. One more time. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punch out right fist. Picking up the left leg, let it hover, float the foot to the ground. Good job. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover, and float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job. All right. Let's do our ankle exercises. If you're able to stand, go ahead and stand. But if you need to stay seated, please stay seated. All right? So this is another really important exercise, especially for my Parkinson's friends, all right? Weight shift to the right, bend in the right knee. Left foot, touch heel and toe. Keep all your weight left. Use your chair if you need to. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. And then back to center. Awesome. So one thing to think about when we're doing this before we do the other side, you want to keep your lower leg in the same spot. So you're not doing this type of thing, touching heel and toe, but all your movement comes from the ankle. Second thing is, you don't want to just like be tapping the toe. Instead, you touch the heel, and as you touch the toe, you're trying to straighten the leg out. So there's a gap between my heel and the floor. Okay? So with that in mind, weight shift to the left, bend in the left knee, right foot, heel and toe. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. And back to center. I like that you're balancing all on one leg. Make sure you do it with both sides. All right? So we're going to do it one. Pardon me? Ah, no problem, no problem. So we're going to do it one more time, just 3 times each side, all right? Weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, left foot, touch heel and toe. Heel, toe. You guys are awesome. Heel and toe. Then shift weight left, right foot, heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, and toe. Second ankle exercise. Weight shifts to the right, left foot, touch little toe and big toe. Outside, inside, little toe, and big toe. Then shift your weight to the left, right foot, little toe, and big toe. Outside, inside, little toe, and big toe. And we come back to center. That is an exercise everybody in this room should be doing. It's a really, really good exercise for Parkinson's. If you're on any blood thinners, high blood pressure medicine, if anybody has diabetes, it's good for all of those conditions. Okay? All right. Forward, backward hip exercise, the hokey pokey. So if you're seated, go back to the exercise where you're lifting the leg and pushing the foot down, lifting the leg, pushing the foot down. That's what you want to do if you're seated. Okay? So as we're touching our heel, you're lifting your leg. As we're touching our toe, that's when you're pushing your foot down. Okay? So don't try and mimic what we're trying to do standing. All right? Standing, I just pretty much described it. Touching the heel in front, touching the toe in back, lifting the knee as we transition from one to another. Make sure we're stepping wide. Keep that upper body nice and straight. And if you're seated, make sure you're sitting nice and straight and tall. All right? So, seated, lifting the leg up, pushing the leg down, like we did, 3, 4 exercises ago, something like that. All right? That makes sense? I know it's hard to do when I'm doing something different. So weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, empty left heel, or if you're seated, you're lifting the left leg up. Exactly. And then we transition, empty left toe. Now, if you're seated, you're pushing the left foot down hard as you can. Push, push, push. Now, as we transition, now we're lifting the left leg if you're seated, and then pushing down on the left foot if you're seated. One more time. Lifting the left leg, pulling the knee to the chest, and then pushing down on the left foot hard as you can. And back to center. Same thing, other side, weight shifts to the left, bend in the left knee if you're standing. If you're seated, pull that right knee to the chest, Lift that right leg up. Transitioning, touching the right toe, pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can. Push, push, push. And heel if you're standing, lifting the leg if you're seated, and then touching the toe if you're standing, pushing down on the foot if you're seated. One more time. I'm lifting the right leg seated, touching the heel in front of me, standing, and then touching the right toe behind me or pushing down on the right foot, hard as you can, and then we all come back to center. Awesome. See? No more than 20 commands, right? All right. It actually is the same exercise. You're using the same muscles. You're just doing it seated just a little bit different. Okay? So let's expand that exercise to the bow stance. All right? So if you're seated, go through the toe kick. All right? Do the same thing. So the toe kick was lifting the leg, toe kick, lifting the leg, and setting the foot down. But you're just doing that seated. Okay? Standing, we're stepping out empty. Then we're shifting weight, 70-30. Weight shifts back, and then we come back to center. Okay? All right. And so when we're all coordinating this, as we're stepping out, you're lifting your leg. As you're toe kicking, we're shifting our weight forward. As we shift our weight back, you're lifting that leg back up, and then everybody comes back to center. Okay? Easy peasy, right? We'll look like synchronized swimmers. All right? Synchronized swimmers. That's hard to say. Weight shift to the right if you're standing. Stepping out empty left. If you're seated, you're lifting the left leg up. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing. Weight shifts back, lifting the left leg once again, and everybody comes back to center. That was very nice. Same thing, other side. Weight shifts to the left if you're standing. Stepping out empty with the right foot standing, lifting the right leg seated. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing. Weight shifts back, lifting that right leg, and then everybody comes back to center. Awesome. Once again, now we're going to weight shift right, stepping out empty left. Lift that left leg if you're seated. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing. Weight shifts back, lifting that left leg if you're seated, and then everybody comes back to center. Same thing, other side, weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right, lifting the right leg if you're seated. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing, shift the weight up on that front leg if you're standing. Weight shifts back if you're seated, you're lifting the right leg up, and then everybody comes back to center. Awesome, let's do that one more time. We really do look like synchronized swimmers. Weight shift to the right, stepping out empty left, lifting that left leg. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing, shift that weight forward onto the front leg. Weight shifts back, lifting that left leg, and then everybody comes back to center. Then shifting the weight left, stepping out empty right, lifting the right leg if you're seated. Toe kick seated, bow stance standing. Weight shifts back, lifting that right leg, and everybody comes back to center. Awesome. Good job. Well done, grasshoppers. All right. Have a seat. Let's do a few more exercises, and then we'll do some meditation. Does anyone remember this series, Kung Fu? Yeah. I've been watching that one lately, so it was hard to find it at first, but I've been going through each episode. Yeah. Yeah, there's 3 seasons, 15 episodes per season. Yeah, well. All right. Okay. You okay? All right. I try not to couch potato too much, but you got to rest at some point. So, has anybody seen Karate Kid Legends, the movie? The old one? Yeah, the old one's back 70s, was it? 80s? Something like that. Yeah. Does anyone see the new one, Legends? It comes out. I think it's out on pay-per-view right now. It's a pretty good movie. They pay tribute. Ralph Marachi is living in the, remember where he waxed on, waxed off, paint fence up and down. So Ralph Macchio is living in that house now because Mr. Miyagi has passed. So Ralph Macchio lives in that house now in the movie. So it's quite interesting. It pays tribute to Mr. Miyagi. All right. So we're going to do, what we got time for? Yeah, we're going to do a rotational exercise. So we're going to rotate to the left, hold that position, breathe relaxation into the body, and then we're going to come back to center and then rotate to the right. We're not forcing anything, all right? Never, never, never force. But in the Chinese tradition, we turn until we feel a stretch. We hold that position and try to breathe relaxation into the muscles. Most of us are taught you turn until it stretches and then you keep pushing and bouncing. Don't do that, all right? It's a really good way to hurt yourself, especially men in like elementary, middle school, even high school. They would tell you to bounce when you stretch. Do not do that. It's a really good way to tear a muscle. Same thing we talked about before. As we turn, make sure you're not leaning. You want to keep the body nice and straight, turning left, rotating right, okay? So interlace the fingers together in front of us, bringing the hands up over the head. We're going to rotate to the left. Hold that position, and then we come back to center and pause. Rotate to the right, and hold that position. Don't force anything, and then we come back to center. Pause. Rotate to the left. Hold that position, and then back to center and pause. Rotate to the right and hold that position. And then we come back to center and pause and relax the hands down. Awesome. Do one more exercise before we do meditation. So, same exercise, kind of. We're going to now lean to the left, then come back to center and pause and lean to the right. Okay? Stay in your seat, all right? No falling out of your seat, okay? But the same principle, leaning to the left, do you feel a stretch? Hold that position, breathe relaxation into the muscles, and then come back to center, okay? This helps promote that rigidity you feel in your spine sometime. Doing this helps kind of loosen that rigidity, okay? So interlock the fingers together in front of us, bringing the hands up over the head. We're going to lean to the left and hold that position. Breathe in, breathe out, and then we come back to center and pause. Leaning to the right, holding that position. Inhale and exhale, and then we come back to center and pause. Leaning to the left, hold that position. Do whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, exhale, back to center, pause, leaning to the right. Inhale and exhale. And then we come back to center and relax the hands down. Awesome. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions about those exercises? All right. So let's say we do some meditation, shall we? So I'm going to turn off these overhead lights. The Chinese tell us that we should be meditating 10 minutes every day. Unless we are having a bad day, and then we should be meditating for an hour every day. Okay? It's kind of another one of those paradoxes we were talking about earlier. Think of your mind, like if I brought in a glass of water, or like a glass of water, and I shook it up, it would be all muddy, right? But if I set it down and let it sit for an hour, the water would start to clear up. Your mind is the same way. When we are feeling anxious or have all these thoughts going through our mind is like taking that glass and shaking it up, and our thinking becomes a little cloudier, right? When we let the mind still, our mind starts to clear. And that's what we're trying to do with meditation is we're letting our mind calm down. Okay? So as things come into your mind, maybe you're thinking about, getting the car repaired, balancing the checkbook, anything like that, just let it go. Don't hold on to that thought. Believe me, you'll think of it later. But you're trying to slowly, slowly settle the mind down. It's just like that glass of water. After you shake it, for that water to clear takes a little time. And so meditation takes a little time. It takes a little time to clear your mind out. Okay? And that's why, because if you haven't shaken it as much, it clears out quicker. If you're having a bad day, you've shaken that jar a lot, and so your mind is cloudy, and then it starts to clear out. Does that make sense? Okay. I want to make sure my metaphors are landing. So scoot back in your chair if you need to. Sit up nice and straight and tall. We'll do some meditation, all right? Closing the eyes, taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, clearing the mind of any thoughts, cleansing the mind. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, clearing the mind of any thoughts, letting your thoughts go in one ear and out the other, as my mother used to say. One more time, big, deep belly breath in. And as we breathe out, cleansing the mind. We're going to start with our feet. So take a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your feet, relaxing your feet. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the feet, relaxing our feet onto our legs. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we exhale, breathing out through the legs, relaxing the upper leg, relaxing the knee, relaxing the lower leg. Inhale, filling our lungs with air once again. Exhale, breathing out through your legs. Feel a wave of relaxation running down your legs, through your thigh, through your knee, through your calf, onto the hips. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through our hips, relaxing our hips, relaxing our bottom. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the hips, relaxing our hips. Onto the front of our belly. So taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your navel, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the navel, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Now to our inner stomach. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through our inner stomach. This is where we hold a lot of our anxiety. So we're releasing, letting go of that anxiety, letting go of your anger. Big, deep belly breath in. Exhale. Breathing out through the inner stomach, relaxing the inner stomach. Long, slow, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the lower inner stomach, letting go of our tension, letting go of our anxiety. Let's do that one more time. Big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the inner stomach, relaxing our inner stomach. Onto the lower back. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, breathing out through the lower back. Relaxing that lower back. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the lower back, relaxing the lower back. Feel our legs relaxing even more as we relax the lower back. And we'll finish up breathing through the skin. So taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. And as we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through the whole body, breathing out through the skin, breathing out all of your tension. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the whole body, exhaling through the skin, breathing out the tension. Let's do that one more time, taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. And as we breathe out, breathing out through the whole body, relaxing the whole body. And that's probably a good place to pause. Look at how relaxed you are right now. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? We had a moment there when we were breathing out through the inner stomach that everybody was very calm. And there's a connection there. In the Chinese world, we have two brains in our body. You didn't know that, did you? So in the Chinese world, we have two brains. You have the brain that thinks, and you have the brain that remembers. And they have found in Parkinson's that one of their theories they have worked on is that the platelets actually form in our gut, what the Chinese call the second brain, and travel up the spinal cord and actually interfere with the receptors in our brain. That's one of the theories that they're working on, as I understand it. So work on calming that inner stomach. It can be very, very powerful. Okay. This is in the Chinese theory. Maybe I don't know if anyone in here has ever been in a car accident, or maybe you're afraid of heights. We'll say, because a lot of people are afraid of heights. So let's say you're afraid of heights. If you get up on the edge of a building or the edge of a cliff, you get that weird feeling in your stomach. That's your second brain. Your second brain is remembering what heights feel like, and they don't like it. And so that's your second brain that's remembering. And it's transmitting stuff to your brain, your thinking part of your brain going, don't step any further, right? That's that whole first brain, second brain kind of thinking the Chinese have. Okay? So, any questions? All right, you guys did awesome. Right hand, fist, power, left hand, fingers together, friendship, tucking the thumb, humility. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to be nice weather, especially compared to what we have. So, have yourselves an awesome weekend. I will see you next week. I am going to turn on the light and it's going to get bright.